Hi there, my name's Sean Longhurst. I'm the product lead for Conduct4SQL, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you the distributed file sending feature of our tool. As per the previous videos, please be sure to watch this in full screen, and please make sure that you're watching at a decent resolution so you can see everything that I'm doing. So today we're going to cover distributed file sending. In the previous videos we showed you distributed query and command, which showed you how you could run a SQL query or SQL DML or DDL commands across your entire SQL environment very easily from one central location. Today what we're going to be showing you is how, using the same architecture that we built throughout our entire tool, you can send files. So that means that they'll be compressed, highly compressed. They'll also be put onto a guaranteed messaging queue. So if your instance of SQL, if those servers aren't available or there's network issues, you don't have to worry. Conduct4SQL will keep retrying and they will get your files there. So I'm going to jump straight into the demo. We're back into the Conduct user interface, which you should be starting to get familiar with from our earlier videos. So okay, if you want to send a file, it's very easy. You just go to the central client control menu option on the left hand side there. Send command and send query options on the top left there, as per our previous videos. Today I'm going to send a file though. But before I do that, I'm going to show you the C drive of one of those other remote servers. So I'm just going to open up to the C drive, and that is one of our other servers out there running SQL. And on that C drive, I've created a folder called C4SQL files. If I go in there, you'll see that the folder is empty. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say, right, I want to send a file. And as you've seen for the other features, you can choose to send it to all your SQL instances, a grouping of them, or some. Today, just to be a little different, I'm just going to choose some. You get a little warning there. Since our user interface, this tool can be run on your laptops or any other server, you don't have to be on the central server. There's just a little warning message to say, please make sure that the files you want to send are residing on that central server for Conduct4SQL, since we'll be looking for the files on that Windows file system to send. So you click OK, and I'm going to ad hoc just choose a few instances. So I'm going to choose that one, and that one, and that one. And I'm going to say OK. So next, Windows Explorer opens up, so you can go find the files that you want to send. Typically, this application could be used to send batch files, SQL files, MSIs, anything like that. In this example, I'm going to go choose a couple of DLLs. Perhaps there's a few DLLs that I actually want to send down to my instances of SQL, at least to those Windows servers. So I'm going to choose a couple of DLL files there. I'm going to go open. You will then see a summary window. It will show you the compression you're getting. Obviously, depending on the type of file and the nature of the data within it, you can get really high compression ratios. Next, you need to enter the path to which the files will be delivered when they get to that server that SQL is running on. So I'm going to put in that C4SQL files directory that I showed you earlier. And you can put a bit more metadata. You can give descriptions of the files, maybe a project number and so forth, just so you can, once again, this will be audited, so this is just more metadata for you to search and find times that you send files through our tool. Okay, so next I'm just going to say send the files, but before I do that, important note, the account that SQL Server is running under on those remote instances of SQL must have write permissions to this folder, obviously, in order for us to deliver the files. If the folder doesn't exist, we will create that folder if the SQL Service account on that server has permissions to do so. So that's quite an important thing to note. So I'm going to say send, and our usual summary window, and immediately I'm going to jump back to that Windows Explorer window, and you will see that the files are there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The files got delivered. We use a lot of compression to optimize the delivery over the network on a guaranteed queue, so that's very nice. You can then do even more interesting things if you want with files. For example, moving them around or backing them up using XP command shell, using the send command feature. So let's say, for example, I wanted to delete those files that I just sent using Conductor. I'll show you as an example. I'll go and grab a SQL script, As you can see, it's just an XP command shell command to delete those files that I just sent. Now, it's important to note, if you want XP command shell not enabled in your organization, that's not a problem. With Conductor for SQL, you can turn it on, do what you need to do with XP command shell, and turn it off. So you can leave it off after you've done what you need to do, leaving your SQL configurations exactly as they were before. So I'm going to show you by sending command once again to some. Remember, we only sent that file to a few of these instances, so it was those ones. I'm going to say OK. I'm going to put in an XP command shell command to actually go and delete those files. Now, on my instances of SQL, I have XP command shell turned on, but we do have a template to show you how to change a SQL Server configuration value in case that's applicable for your scripts. So I've already saved this. I've mentioned before in my videos that you can save your SQL scripts through Conductor SQL, which is great to be able to do. So I've got a little script there that enables XP command shell, and this I built off that template you've seen. So let's pretend XP command shell was turned off in my SQL environment. I could say, right, send this command, and it will go and enable XP command shell. You can do this all in one script, by the way. I'm just showing it step by step. There's no reason to do it in 3 steps. I'm just demonstrating it that way. So I'll say send command again. I'm going to choose those instances we did before. I'm going to say OK. I'm going to put in my XP command shell, which is going to go delete those files. So if I open my Windows Explorer window again, you can see the files are still there on that remote server. And remember, this could be anything XP command shell allows you to do. So you could actually be creating a backup folder with XP command shell, then moving your DLL files there, then dropping the DLL files, anything like that. It's important to note we're also going to integrate PowerShell scripting into our command feature as well, which will give you a much more powerful array of features that you can do through our tool as well. So I'm going to send that. It's gone green, so it's gone everywhere. You can see now those files are gone. And if need be in my organization, I can now go and turn XP command shell off again, leaving it in the state that it was. So yes, that's a very nice feature. As you can see, combined with other features, you can do almost anything. So you can use our distributed commands to actually make metadata changes to your entire SQL environment out there. And only once it's done and you know they're all successful, could you then possibly, in this example, deploy some DLLs, which would update your application to then use the new SQL schemas that you distributed through distributed command. So very powerful. You can see that this can work on, once again, hundreds or thousands of instances of SQL very quickly and very easily. And thank you for watching.